Guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Coach, what do you want to see out of the tackle spot coming out of the spring, just to make you feel a little bit more comfortable heading into summer?
I think it's both just defining our starters, and I think the depth developing in behind, I think are going to be huge. It's a huge spring for all those guys. But that's kind of what I'm most fired up about. Who can do their job in a physical manner? You can count on them in the moment. So we're taking some strides towards it.
And then how important is it to cross-train guys at different spots right now? Just
it is, and it's hard because sometimes it's a young group in all. I would describe it as a young O-line, and it's an exciting O-line because it is young and you got a lot of years with them. But that's where if a young guy you try to start cross-training too early, I think they can lose some ability. So we're doing it with Sam right now at center and guard. And he's really doing a good job of fighting through that. But you could tell like you just lose a little bit of detail on each of them as you work through it. But it's something that we definitely will do and kind of wire into who is capable of handling dual role.
And then with a guy like Rocco, who has coming off an injury, how do you incorporate him into competitive stuff just to get him in the mix? Yeah,
I mean, his ability to kind of heal up after he's kind of come through a few things has been amazing, and his desire to get back out there has been huge. So trying to be smart early and really is able to do most of everything and just don't want to put him in a situation where would set him back. But I'm really proud of the way he's fought to get back on the field here for the beginning of spring.
Joe was pretty established as the leader of that unit last year. Is there someone or maybe two guys that you're seeing starting to step up and take control right now?
Yeah, I think there's a number of faces that are. You know, I would reserve my opinion on maybe who's just going to kind of take over and lead it all. Sometimes that emerges as you go. But I do think guys feel that and are excited to kind of step into that role. Guys that have been around it, like Pat, like Tosh, like Rocco, and then some young guys that really feel really confident, like Billy and like Ashton. So that we'll have leadership there, that's for sure.
Charles got a chance to start in the bowl game. I thought he played really well. How important do you think it was for him to get that full taste in those weeks of prep and so that he's less of a new face, even though he's still new?
I thought it was a preliminary spring ball for both Charles and Tosh, Aamil. Like those guys were able to get great reps and were able to put in big situations, prepare for a game. You get a little bit of longer prep, obviously. And I thought they stepped in and they battled their tails off. Like I appreciated the growth they had in that period of time. So yeah, it was great. It was great. That'll pay off huge.
With Mike taking over the offense, does that change at all what you guys do up front?
We're just learning with it and rolling. But I think when you teach fundamentals and you stress those and you teach guys how to play with those fundamentals to give the game to them at the base level where they can make the best decisions to get themselves in position of power and to play smart and communicate. Nothing ever changes with that. So try to keep playing physical, violent football and allow those guys to play together as a whole and help each other to be a little better. Those things always apply.
Let's do one more. Coach, what are you missing in a Joe Alden, Blake Fisher as far as talent and leadership goes with the younger guys right now?
Yeah, I mean, Blake and Joe were awesome, and we loved him here, but I'm just as excited about the group we have moving forward. And it's because they were those guys at one time, and they had to step into a role, and that's what you're excited for these guys to do. So, like I said, the bowl game was awesome, being able to prep and get a little bit of jump on the tackles. Obviously, I loved another game to coach those other two, but it did. You look at, okay, what's the benefit? You got a chance to really coach the heck out of that group and get them locked in together and prepare and go out and play a game together. So that was big. And then leadership, these guys feel it. There's a great tradition in that room that goes, the tradition from guys that Joe and Blake learned from, you know, and that gets passed down. So they feel leadership and they feel togetherness and they understand the importance of this O-line to this program.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep, thanks, guys.
How do you guys take what you did a year ago, which numbers-wise were really good, and build on it, which is a pretty ambitious task?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it was good enough. You know, I think everybody, and I'm saying that collectively, right? As a player's perspective, if there's better to be done, then we have to do better. So we're not focused on that. We're focused on improving. And so we're proud. I mean, the past is great, right? But that's over. You know, this year is yet to be defined. So the hope is to get better. That's why we do what we do. So that's our mindset.
You're talking to Jason. One of the things that kept popping up, he kept saying ball disruption. So you guys work on how important is that to what you guys do, and how do you make that happen? Yeah, we focus on it. We celebrate it. We coach it. We hold people accountable to it. We educate. That's that's the foundation, I should say, of our program defensively. So I think him saying that just speaks to how important it is, how much emphasis we put on it.
What's been the early, I guess, outlook on R.J. Oben since he's been here? How he can help you all out in that front line? Yeah, R.J.'s a veteran guy. He made a decision to come back because he wants to improve in certain areas. He wants to increase his stock, so to speak. But the way he's helping us is providing tremendous experience and a level of maturity and leadership. And he's done a phenomenal job learning our system. And he's been a great addition for us so far, and we're excited to see how he progresses. And your D-line is experienced guys that coming back, Howard, Riley. How are they challenging the new guys on the offensive side of the line? Yeah, I think iron sharpens iron, right? So I think we have some really talented old linemen, younger old linemen that are going to be, come August, are going to be really, really good based on what they're up against. I think Howard and Riley are among two of the top D tackles in the country. So their obligation is to be that. You know what I mean? So if iron sharpens iron, I got to be iron so that my partner and my teammate gets better and the people around me get better. So, yeah.
What do you want to see from Josh and Junior this spring? Yeah, just progression, improving. And you see it. I mean, first couple of days you see it. The game slows down the more you do anything. So that's what you're seeing. They're awesome, and physically they're gaining. Coach Landau's done a great job, and Alexa Appleman, the strength staff, Coach Hale, all those guys do a great job. But they're physically developing, and they are, getting more accustomed to seeing the things that they're seeing. And then you have some depth at Viper now. I guess how do you kind of want that to shake out this spring?
Compete. I want them feeling uncomfortable every day. I want that. I think we got to push each other. I think all three of them are really good for different reasons. And hopefully they compete against each other to help each other get better. And collectively we'll be better, and that's the goal.
And then are you going to fight to work with Kingston some at the
Yeah, man, listen, I love King. I've known King, since he was a freshman in high school. He's special. I mean, there may be some roles down the road for him, but yeah, I mean, if King came in my room, my door would be open. But he's a hell of I tell you what, man, he's I don't want to speak on different players, but he's special, man. He'll be a great linebacker.
This defense as a whole was incredible last year. How does this defensive line kind of keep that standard going?
Like I said earlier, man, look at where you didn't, reach the standard. We want 100%. So, I think we know the truth, right? As a player, you know the truth about you. You've got to continue to focus on improving and filling those gaps. So it sounds cliche, but it's not. Like, our guys aren't thinking about that as much as, man, I got to improve, this or that. And beyond, like, if you're an older guy, when we tell our guys, if you're a veteran guy, older guy, Riley, Howard, older guy, your goal is to be consistent. That's the challenge for you this spring. If you are the next wave, so to speak, right, a younger guy, then your goal is to become dependable, consistent. You know what I mean? Your goal is to become dependable. So that's the progression we focus on. Nobody's comfortable. I'm stressed. Everybody's stressed. And that's the awesome part about it, And I think we got a great attitude, and I'm really excited. I love working with them.
Josh, where can you take your biggest jump this spring after just being in the position for a full season last year?
Yeah, I think especially today, feeling more comfortable with playing more of that interior D-line, like with that 4-eye, taking on double teams. I feel a lot more comfortable with that than last year, putting on more weight, 250 right now, trying to get to that 255, 260 by season. But really just honing in on that and feeling more comfortable with it.
And then what's just the process of gaining that weight by the time fall camp starts?
Yeah, a lot of calories. Been meeting with Alexa, the nutritionist, quite a bit, just trying to get as much as I can in. I love what Coach Landau's been doing. He's been a big help, him and his staff. So, yeah, just recovery and getting those calories in.
And then are you cross-training at both end spots or just one?
I'm honing in on the true end this season here.
Josh, pretty early, but what's the tone, what's the identity the team is trying to set as far as culture goes early on?
Yeah, I think we had a good standard set last year and the years before especially. So I think it's definitely our job to maintain that standard and raise it. I mean, we're a little young. I mean, we have the older guys with Riley and Howard being the two majors coming back. Same thing with Botello. And it's really, I feel, key for some of us. We're getting to that older level, like me, Donovan Jr., Jason Onye, just stepping up our leadership to help reach that standard.
And without having guys like Joe or Blake here, I guess how is the offensive line now challenging you guys, or how are you challenging them with the younger group stepping into those positions?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got a good group of guys in front of them as well. Definitely some key losses there, but I mean, we have such a good depth at that position, especially with the coaches and everything that they got no problem.
This is obviously months down the road, but all the changes to college football and the playoff expanding. I'm just curious your thoughts on that. I mean, I got to imagine for a player it's exciting that there's that many more opportunities down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely just going to take it game by game and just let our game talk. But it's definitely exciting to hear and just more of those experiences.
You guys are always chasing championships. Does having a larger field make it feel more reasonable and more realistic?
I would say so, but I mean, kind of like I just said, we really just take it game by game. Don't let the bigger picture, I mean, obviously every team's goal is to win a national championship, but it's what you do in between each practice and just stuff out here right now that's going to lead to that. So,
Jason, what was the biggest thing you learned last year going through the fall and everything?
I would just say the matter of preparation, the every day before a game, how much the little things you do before a game and how you practice affects the outcome of a game. I would just say studying, film session, taking in those little extra meetings with Wash or just the other guys to understand the game plan and understand what you're actually doing. Because on a Saturday, things go by so fast and one misstep is a whole entire play or even the game sometimes.
And then where can you take the biggest step this spring in your game?
I would say the biggest step for me would be personally just understanding the game better. I feel like I have a great grasp of the game, just understanding the little nuances to it, to our playbook, for example. And also for me, a big area of improvement for me, I want to be get off. I want to be able to last year I saw myself thinking too much before a play, and that would be the difference between a sack or a pressure. So this year I just want to make sure I'm just clearing my head before a play, going at it, trusting myself, and just being confident in my play.
In terms of improving get off, how much of that is done on the field in practice now, and how much of that is off season in terms of speed and strength and that sort of thing?
I'll say get off is a bunch of all areas. For me, after practice, I'm there. I'm racing Donnie after we're getting off the ball. We're racing each day, or it's Coach Wash sending me videos throughout the season of just me seeing my get off and just me thinking to myself, what was I thinking during this play? What made me go slow? And just also just understanding the playbook better. If I have a certain duty or certain task assigned to the play, then knowing that I have to do that, just get off the ball and just go dominate and trust myself and be 100% ready for the play when it comes to me.
The defense as a whole put up really good numbers last year. How do you take that and improve on it when it's a pretty ambitious task?
Well, it is an ambitious task, but Coach Golden does a great job, and Coach Wash just instilling in us how important it is ball disruption, and just every day before practice we're there hitting the bags, taking the ball out, ripping, teaching different techniques and practicing different techniques. Whether it's in practice or a team period or even during individual periods, we're always at the end hitting with a ball disruption attempt, grabbing the ball, scoop or score, something like that, something of the nature, helping us right now develop the muscle memory so in a game we don't even think twice about doing it.
Jason, I guess how good do you feel physically right now, and what's it like working with Coach Landau?
I feel great. Props to Coach Landau. Thanks to Coach Landau. He's done a great job. I feel looser, faster. I feel more confident in my ability to go and perform in practice and in games and this season. So I'm really looking forward to it. I feel better these past two practices, and I'm excited to see how this season looks.
What's the challenge, I guess, for you guys defensively with Coach Watt? How does he like kind of get you guys going every time you come out?
I mean, right now the challenge is not to be complacent. I mean, we had a really good year last year. That's like pretty obvious. Not to be complacent. Like just last year was last year. This year is this year. We have a whole entire new team. Like we have a new team. We have a bunch of same guys returning. But just for the guys who were here last year and like enjoyed the success last year, to not be complacent and keep doing the things that we did last year during this time. Do it now so we can even build on a better season this year and keep things going and make this a standard for Notre Dame, because now I feel like this is the standard, so we expect nothing less.
Let's do one more. How have the early enrollees kind of mixed in with the group?
Oh, the early enrollees, they're great. So we have like, I want to say 4 of them: Logan, Cole, Bryce, and Sean, and they're great. Me personally, I've been talking to Sean a lot since he's a D tackle, helping him, teaching him the little things that I was fortunate to have Myron and Kurt teach me. So teaching him those things, teaching him the pad level, and just like making him like enjoy Notre Dame and enjoy the other things outside of football, and also understanding that football is like, you have your good days, you have your bad days, and just teaching him, showing him that I'm there for him, and that's a process. So they've all been great.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, guys.
Tosh, what kind of momentum did starting in the bowl game kind of give you for the offseason?
Yeah, so obviously going in, playing against Oregon State, watching the film, there's stuff you want to work on and improve going into the offseason. Gives you a lot of confidence to increase your ability, and I think that's what spring ball is great for, is you can improve on the things that you need to improve on and you can grow better as a team.
And then what are a couple areas of focus for you this spring?
For me, it's a lot of technique and stuff that I want to improve and keep sharpening. That's where I'm really growing, and my fundamentals and just growing with my teammates as well.
And then the leadership in the room, do you feel like you have to kind of step into that role as one of the upperclassmen?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a leadership role is what I'm proud myself for. Oldest guy in the room now, which is nice, and with that becomes a lot of a leadership role, and that's what I'm excited to step into.
Speaking of being the oldest guy in the room, being the traditional line play here, can you just speak to that tradition here at Notre Dame?
Yeah, the tradition from Notre Dame was here way before I got here, and it'll stay here way before I leave. And that's just what Notre Dame football is all about, and that's what we pride ourselves on.
What did you learn from watching Joe and working behind Joe last year that maybe you're trying to implement now for yourself?
Joe taught me a lot of things. He's obviously a great tackle, a lot of great things ahead for him, but being able to talk and chat, and when I had something that I needed to work on and we could bounce ideas off each other, I learned a lot from him.
Big changes in college football with the playoff expanding. Do you like that? And what does it mean that like there's now opportunities open for a lot more people to compete for a championship?
Yeah, honestly, it's not something I really thought about. I mean, we're in day 2 of spring ball right now. I mean, we got a lot of games before we get to that point. So honestly, improving day in, day out is what we're focusing on.
What's the chemistry like on the line right now with you guys? Obviously, like you just said, day 2, but what's the chemistry like early on?
We're a band of brothers. We all love each other. We got each other's back. That's been here way before I got here, and it'll stay the way after I leave. But we love each other. We're going to do everything we can for each other. We're going to sacrifice for each other day in and day out.
Tosh, how would you describe your leadership style?
I like to lead by example. That's kind of the way I've always led. I'm getting better at leading by voice and being able to act out too, but leading by example has kind of been my way of leading, and I'm building a bigger voice in that room as well.
Now blocking for a more mobile quarterback. I mean, does that change how you approach the position at all?
The fundamentals and the basics never change. Whoever's back there, it doesn't change what we do up front.
Charles, what did you just get out of the whole bowl game experience? And then just going back and watching the film, what did you learn there too?
I'd say biggest takeaway for me was just kind of trying to relax. I mean, I feel like my first drive, I was a little anxious because, I hadn't really played meaningful snaps up till then. So just trying to relax and understanding that it's a good defense, so you gotta bring your A game, but you also can't freak out if something doesn't go exactly how you expect it to. So,
Charles, how much has your mindset shifted since that moment now that you're kind of in this role where you can be on a starter on the front line?
I don't really think it's changed that much, honestly. I'm just constantly trying to get better. So that's the main goal, whether I'm starting, I'm not starting, All-American, not. It doesn't really matter. I've just got to get better every day. So.
Was it good for your comfort level going through that experience, kind of settling in and kind of proving yourself that, yeah, I can play at this level, no problem?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it was a really good defense, and I played solidly, so it's just about building on that. But, yeah, it definitely helped just kind of getting into a game, playing next to the guys, and feeling good about it. So,
what did Joe do last year that you remember and that you take away that you try and mimic?
What did he do? I think, like, off the field, it's really just his focus. He's a super focused guy. Like, he's not going to walk around and say, oh, look at me, I work so hard. But he works hard in everything he does, and he's really focused and dedicated. So I'd say that. But, yeah, if you want to get into nerdy on-the-field stuff, I can answer that too.
No, I'm good. Appreciate it.
I mean, pretty new group of people up front. How are you guys kind of all gelling so far?
I think we're playing well together. I think we got a group that has a lot of natural strength, a lot of power, and that's been an emphasis this offseason too, is getting stronger, getting more explosive so we can really start moving people off the line. But it's about continuing to, like, build confidence in each other so that you have that rolling into the camp and then into the first game.
I guess individually, how much improvement do you think you've made from last season to now in terms of, like, physicality and strength?
I'd say I'm a little leaner so far. That's something I'm working on still. But I'd say strength, I feel like I'm not, like, the strongest person in the weight room, but I just have natural power that kind of helps me play. So just been working on leaning out and continuing to build on top of the strength that I already have on the field.
What's kind of the process for you to learn a new offense and new schemes up front?
It hasn't been too bad. We use some similar, like, terminology and stuff, so it hasn't been that crazy of a shift. But I think it's just about continuing to build confidence every time, like every snap, knowing exactly what I need to look for, what I need to call out, what I need to listen for. So yeah, I'd just say kind of continuing to communicate better.
Aamil, what are you seeing, man? You know, year 3 now. What are you seeing in yourself as far as comfort level and being out there in the front line?
I think I feel a lot more comfortable now. Being able to add the weight how I did in the last couple of years, improve my athletic ability, improve the strength, and just improve my pre-snap process. Everything's starting to slow down a lot more. And so having the ability to play behind guys like Joe Wall, Blake Fisher, and a lot of the names around us has, like, poured such a wealth of knowledge into me. So a lot of things slowing down. I feel great right now.
What did you learn from Joe and Blake?
Joe is probably the work ethic and attention to detail. Joe is one of the guys that nothing gets past him. Like, whether it's a person, a play, whatever it is, Joe is going to pay attention to everything. And so taking that mindset to dominate and win every single play and take pride in little things, whether it's your footwork, your technique, your punch, he takes pride in everything. So being able to take that mentality and take that example of what a great lineman is and what a dominant lineman is has helped so much.
You mentioned the weight. I guess where are you at now, and is there a goal for you to get to by the start of fall camp?
I'm sitting 290 plus right now, and my goal by fall camp is to be 300 plus. I wanted to add weight in an effective way, and so it's just not add it all at one time. I want to make sure it's real weight, strength, muscle, and so just day by day continuing to follow a plan, eat, do what I'm supposed to do to add the weight correctly, and the goal is to be 300 plus by fall camp.
And then Coach Lando is known for his individualized plans. I guess where does he kind of help you with that?
He's helped me tremendously. He's met me where I'm at. He knows, even though I'm a lineman, I'm not the typical lineman. He's just worked with me daily, whether it's stretching, flexibility, weight training, muscle, whatever it is. He's done a great job of just breaking down the individual plan, arms, legs, whatever it is. He's done a great job, and I'm thankful for it.
And with new faces on this line, how are you guys kind of meshing right now?
Say it again?
How are you guys kind of meshing right now?
It's meshing great. I think the 3 early freshmen we had, they've been terrific. They've all had an urge to learn. They've all had a hunger to be better. And so they're all open to criticism, open to feedback. And so just having them around has been fantastic. They've been tremendous helps with defense, been tremendous helps with taking extra time to learn plays and walk through it. And so it's great having them around. I'm happy they're here.
Last one. Aamil, you knew when you committed that obviously you were coming from the same high school as Freeman and Mickens, but now that you're stepping into possibly a starting role at the tackle position, does it feel more like full circle now that you're getting that those first round reps and you're probably talking and spending more time with Freeman?
It does feel full circle. I think having the opportunity to play for people that came from your city, came from your high school was fantastic, and I know coming here that I was going to have a support system built in place. I mean, Notre Dame does a great job at itself of creating a family environment, and having people that I've known for longer before Notre Dame was fantastic. So it does feel kind of full circle, but at the same time, Freeman treats everyone equal. You can be a walk-on, you can be the star player, Sam Hartman, whatever it is. He treats everyone like they're his kids. And so even though it's full circle for me, I mean, it still feels love from the very beginning.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you.